Hi everyone, welcome to the program again, and today I have with me in the studio Mr. Michael Chua, who is of course from PSP, and he's also a CEC member, right? So for those of you who don't know what CEC stands for, it means Central Executive Committee. Welcome, Michael, to the show.
Thank you, Craig.
We know that Michael is also a politician, and he'll be seeing a lot of his information, on Facebook, that kind of stuff. But that's not the purpose of today's interview. The purpose today is to find out a little bit more of his personal side, right? And Michael has kindly agreed to it, and he's also brought along some pictures to share with us from your maybe very young days up to your current moment. So we will not waste any time, and we'll get down to doing the interview proper. So Mike, but before we start that, I'm just curious because I do ask your fellow PSP colleagues, like where were you growing up in Singapore?
Staying in a place called Ku Kiang Swan is a kampong.
Ku Kiang Swan.
Yeah, so it's actually Ang Swan, Red Hill. Just further down from Ang Swan itself. Oh. So in those days, actually, the taxi drivers, you tell them to bring you to Ku Kiang Swan, they will refuse to take you as a customer.
Okay. Still is so notorious.
Yeah, so in fact, Ang Swan is still considered not so bad. So you tell them to bring you to Ang Swan first.
Oh, okay. So you have to say Ang Swan, then they will.
They'll
then they okay. Then by the time, wow. So what about your primary school? Where did you attend?
My primary school is De La Salle.
Wow,
it's at the Kampong Baru Road. Yeah. Oh, it was at Kampong Baru Road, but right now the new school has already relocated to Chua Chu Kang.
Yeah. My son also went to De La Salle for his primary school. Oh, there's La Salle Brothers.
That's right, La Salle Brothers.
Also, you're from the mission school also.
That's right, yeah, for many
then
years.
Secondary?
Was in SGI.
Oh, well, all the way, because that's a feeder school.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, my son couldn't make it to SGI, but that's another story. Oh, so then okay.
Catholic Junior College.
Then Catholic Junior College.
Yes.
Are you a Catholic?
No, I'm not.
You're not. I thought all the one mission school have influenced you and became a Catholic. So, what about your family? How many siblings do you have?
I'm the youngest. I have 3 brothers and 2 sisters.
So 6
total
of you.
6, yes.
Oh, you're the youngest.
Yeah, I'm the youngest.
Oh, okay. So, mom and dad, are they still around?
Oh, they passed away quite some time already.
Oh, sorry to hear that. So, how old were you when they passed away?
My mom passed away when I was in primary 3, so I was 10.
Oh, that's quite young, And then daddy?
And my father passed away a lot more recently, but that was at least already 26 years old.
Oh, you were 26?
Yeah, 26. Because I always remember the date because that's the same year that my eldest daughter was born. So, so that's how I remember how long ago it was.
How long ago? Oh, so that's the age of your daughter now, 26. You still look quite young. You got a 26-year-old daughter working already.
She's working, yeah.
Oh, okay. We'll go to your daughter later. So, just curious also, how many kids now?
I have 3.
Oh.
3 girls.
Wow, daughter. Okay. Do you have a picture of them later?
Yes,
so
we can take a look at that.
We will come back to. So then, after that, you went to Catholic Junior College, and what happened after you went army or?
I enlisted in the army, did my national service. Then, while I was in the army, I managed to apply for a scholarship, and that's where I started.
Wow, you're also scholar, Wow, very good, very good. So let's see what's the first picture you have coming up first, okay? Wow, 毕业了，哇，这么年轻就毕业了，哇 graduated already.
This is a very treasured photo because this is my only photo that I have a graduation gown.
Oh.
Yeah, because all the other so-called paper qualification that I have, I didn't go for convocation. So my only convocation was in kindergarten.
You see lah. This some people study so hard, And most people pay and go to a professional studio wear the mortarboard then wear the gown hold the cert then you never even take the picture.
No, I don't think it's that important. In fact,
it's a milestone in your life. Of course, it's important, But so no wonder you say it's a great treasure.
Yeah, that's the only one I have.
But it's still not too late to go and take. Your girls, they'll graduate next time. You can wear one. It's a family portrait, So let's see what's the next picture you have to share with us. Oh, this is like not that long. This is like recent.
This is 2012. So this is my schoolmates from the same cohort. So that was the 30th anniversary of us leaving the school. So we decided to go back to the
original.
Our campus was in Bras Basah. So now it's the Singapore Art Museum, and then we had a dinner over there, and then we decided to take a photo outside the main building itself. And I was actually there for my in-camp training. So I was doing my in-camp as a national serviceman, and after my in-camp, I rushed down to join the rest of my friends.
I see. Oh, so it's so nice to catch up with old friends. This from your SGI cohort.
SGI cohort, yeah.
Oh, okay. Let's see what's the next picture Michael has prepared for us. Whoa, you're a sailor too, huh?
Yeah, because in school, I tried to join the brass band, military band, and I was toned down.
Hey, band is playing instrument, don't have to sing what?
Yeah, no. So they gave me the saxophone. I tried, then they didn't like what they heard. Then they tried to give me the drum, and I couldn't do the rhythm or whatever.
Oh, okay, so he's not a karaoke person.
Yeah, so as a result, because I wasn't doing so well in CCA, I took up sailing when I was in secondary school. Did much better. So that was in fact this particular photo reminds me of the competition that I took part in when I was Sec 4. So it's a national school. So leading to the final day of the sailing competition, we had the preliminary. So I was leading going into the competition. So I ran for the competition, right? So we're setting up the boats and all this things. First thing, when I set up, right, I noticed that the sail was slashed.
Was it sabotage?
And then the baton were broken. So the baton is to stiffen the sail. So all that was broken and all that. So I quickly replaced the sail and all that. Then we got the boat into the water. And then as the boat was going to the start line, the rudder broke. That means the bottom of the rudder broke.
Okay, like that confirm someone is trying to sabotage you. Were you the leading person or what?
I was leading going into that final day race.
So there's a conspiracy there. Okay. Then what happened after that?
Very fortunately, the day was the wind was shifting a lot. So when the wind shifts, right, they need to set the starting line. Okay, so the one that was in charge of setting the starting line was adjusting the starting line. So it allowed me enough time to, sail back with a broken rudder, back to the clubhouse, change a completely new boat, which I, just took whatever that was still left in the clubhouse, then sail back to the starting line, and then when I reached the starting line, the line was just fixed, and then I managed to start the race together with the rest of the fleet. Yeah, it's sometimes, in life, and in politics, now they are politicians. Sometimes the fact is that the one that is in charge can mix or break what will happen next. So fortunately, in this case, the one that was starting...
It was not a level playing field.
Yeah,
I guess what you're driving at, right?
The one that was doing the starting line was a teacher in my school. So he noticed that I was missing from the fleet, and therefore he compensated.
Or to allow you to join the race.
But it's to allow me to get to the starting line. I think the important thing is that whatever the competition, it must be fair competition. It cannot be something that's so, stacked against you, right? You may sabo and all this kind, but at the end of the day, it's a competition.
That's the gentlemanly thing to do, the right thing to do.
Then whatever you do, the prize, you win it, it's fair and square. Right. Then nobody's going to complain about it.
Was it, what do they call, you have to go to a few rounds, or is it just based on one race?
So it's 3 races. So that particular race, the last final race, because I was mentally affected by whatever is happening, so I managed to come in third for the race.
So for the one we had all these problems.
Yeah, but overall I still managed to emerge as the winner. And
we are the champions. Wow, that means it was an aggregate of the 3 races.
Correct, yes.
Oh, so maybe that's why I'm not accusing anyone, but it was possible that you have already won, probably did well for the first and second race, and if you had done quite well in the third race, you would have been the overall champion.
Right, yeah.
So maybe someone was a bit unhappy. So they tried to slash your sail, break the baton, fix your rudder and all these things. But it's good that destiny intervened and you still managed to complete the race. But which class of sailing vessels were you sailing in?
I was sailing actually in the mirror class. So in the junior sailing club where I was, that's the only class that was available for the secondary school. And then after that, when you go to junior college, you sail in a lug class. So lug class is where our national sailor, for example, our first Commonwealth champion, Benedict, he sails in the lug class. So he was actually 1 year my junior, so we took part in the same competition. We took part in the same competition, National School Championship, Sailing Championship. But the difference is that that was in 1984. I was using the 1973 Siap game boat.
Wow, so old.
Yeah, so it's a training fleet. So that was, after the Siap game, it was given to the junior sailing club to use as a training fleet. In the case of Benedict, he basically had the 1983 Sea Game boat.
Wow.
Because it's a matter of you know, he had very good family support. His father's supportive of his efforts, so he sailed. He got a long-term lease on the SEA Games boats from Changi Sailing Club, and therefore, obviously, I mean that if your parents
did you go and take part in the Commonwealth Games or SEA Games? Or
no. After that, in those days, Singapore Sailing Federation was not so well established and funded, and therefore it's really up to your own devices. And I come from a not so well-to-do family. Even for me to go to Changi to do sailing is a 2 hours bus ride.
Wow, that's level. That's dedication,
so when you're doing that twice a week, right? And actually Sec 4, JC, whatever kind of thing, my parents, my father was saying, "What are you doing this?" I mean, I was as black as, you know, as so dark and all that.
Out in the sun, very tan.
So again, it's family support. If you really want to achieve and go further and all this kind of natural talent is important, but without the societal support, without the structure there, the programs there, there's only so much your latent talent can bring you across.
Correct. I fully understand where you're coming from. I mean, okay, Ben had the support of the family and the resources, so it was a bit more challenging for you. But you still a match champion, at least in that particular race that you took part in. Kudos to you for that. I mean, if we were to just go a bit aside, it's just like children in our society today, those that come from more privileged backgrounds, no one is jealous about that, but you can afford tuition, you can afford enrichment classes, so it's never starting off on the same level.
Correct.
Yeah. Wow, but do you still sail?
No. That's why when there's this DBS created this opportunity for people to do recreational sailing in Marina Bay, we managed to get a slot and I brought the whole family there to go and sail. The rest were hidden, so-called. So that's my youngest daughter.
Your youngest daughter. Because I can see another hands or whatever.
Yes, that's right.
So all the whole family
was there
on the boat with you.
That's right.
Wonderful. So the family that sails together stays together. Okay, lovely. So there's a bit of blast from the past there for Michael Chua in his sailing days. Okay, let's see what's the next picture. Oh man, it looks cold, man, this place.
This is in Harping. So,
okay. With global warming, I don't know how much longer we can continue to do this.
But don't worry, Harping was like minus 30 or something like that during the snow festival.
Wow, it looks cool.
I like the snow and all that because, again, you know, I like sports. So when I could now afford better, so we try to, you know, do something different, and that was a trip that we went.
Bring
to
your whole family along.
Yeah, to go skiing and all that.
So what's the next picture?
The next one is also actually.
Is it skiing or wakeboarding?
Skiing.
And where was this? Also in China?
No, this was in Colorado.
Wow, bring whole family.
This one was alone because when I was younger, when I was studying in university, I did go skiing when I was in university. So in my dream, okay, I wanted to go powder skiing in the US, in the Rockies, and Colorado was the place.
Was the place
for powder skiing. It's like the mecca for skiing and all this kind of thing. So when I was going to Colorado, Denver for a conference and in February, right in the middle of ski season.
Right.
I told myself.
Is this Aspen or what?
No, this is the Aspen. Colorado is the entire Rocky Mountain range. So there's a whole different grades of ski resorts. So Aspen would be the 5-star, the high end.
Yes, high.
You fly your private jet. Okay. So that would be Aspen, right? But there are a lot of the more mid-price or lower end.
So everyone, different economic strata can still go and enjoy.
So to me, it's the Rockies. I'm at there already. It's good enough to go to somewhere that's a lot more affordable. So that's where I went.
Okay, so for those of you who are not into skiing, right, when you talk about powder snow, that's when the mountain is snowed overnight. Then the next morning, you are the first one to get a chance to go on the snow and ski the thing. It is quite an out of this world experience. And of course, the younger people now use a wakeboard to do that.
Surfboard.
Surfboard.
Snowboarding. I do that too.
You do that too. Wow. Hi, welcome to Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. Here we are interviewing Michael Chua. Okay, wonderful. Oh, it's good, man, that you can pursue your dreams. Work hard, play hard. And this is what? Oh, in your army.
Yeah, so from school, like I said, I
cannot make it. Your guys put the camouflage, the leaves so huge on their helmet. Which unit were you in?
This is actually in officer cadet school. So it's my platoon in OCS. So really it's a very good experience to be.
You NS already become a regular, or you were a regular?
When I was in officer cadet school, that's when I applied for the scholarship.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So I was not previously identified to be of a scholar material.
Oh.
There are two streams. One is that those that in the A levels, they were already identified and then they were given the opportunity to apply for the provisional scholarship, and then they will also be given the support to apply for overseas university. So I was in the other stream where actually based on your actual A level result, you meet the minimum criteria, right? Which is 3A, then you apply. But actually at this point, I was thinking to also share that I was in a commerce stream in A levels, right? Commerce actually in Singapore is so-called a local paper. So meaning that you have management of business and accounting, these are local paper. Our PSC, Public Service Commission, don't recognize, okay, our Singapore A-level subjects. At that point in time, I do not...
our own paper.
It's something that I always feel very strongly in the sense that why are you not recognizing...
why is there this discrimination? Huh?
Exactly. So though, A, in a so-called a local paper doesn't count as the same as an A from GC A-level Cambridge
syndicate thing,
yeah. So when they were assessing the applicants for the scholarship, immediately because the SF Overseas Scholarship was a joint scholarship between the PSC and the Army, I was already not eligible because
for the PSC one.
To be under the
scholarship scheme.
Overseas scholarship scheme.
Okay.
The one that I've gone under is actually what is called Overseas Training Awards Academic. So it's the next tier, which is entirely offered by the Army based on your A-level result as well as your military performance. So there is that distinction. But in reality, when I look back, right, actually if you look at the A-level result, okay, for example, one subject, management of business, my entire cohort of 6 classes in that year, there were only 2 A's.
And you were one of them.
But my point is that the level and the difficulty to get an A in our local paper could actually be a lot harder.
Higher than the Cambridge papers.
Why are you not recognizing that result because it's done by a local institution? I don't understand that.
Right. Well, because of the people who sit behind and make the policies.
Yeah, it's a policy
they can
maker.
be a bit duh about these sort of things sometimes. And using the word duh is politically correct. I was thinking of some other more serious words which probably I cannot say on this interview. But I can understand your frustration. It seems very unfair, right? Oh, okay. So what was your rank eventually when you, before that you were studying. So what, you Army and then you went to study, you came back and served a bond or what?
So for my case, because I was in the second stream, I applied for the university after I got my scholarship. So my university space was only managed to get it after I finished my officer cadet school. So I completed the entire OCS. So some of the other scholarship holders, because they were in the other stream, they already got their university places already. So they'll disrupt midstream. That means out of the officer cadet school until, let's say,
it's 9
December.
months, right?
Yeah, but they will do 7 months. And the last 2 months, where you actually go for your... Yeah, they're just disrupted. So the summary exercise, that's the toughest part of actually the officer cadet school experience, OCS, the experience where you go for exercise Tiger Panther, where it's a raid exercise in Pulau Ubin and Pulau Tekong and all that kind of thing. This is really the very enriching kind of exercise where you really see the toughness and the mettle of
and
your
the Tier 1 people miss it. Kelong like that, walao.
I think
their loss is your gain.
I think they'll make up somewhere else along their career or whatever kind of thing. But for my own personal experience, I enjoyed the fact that you go to this finale with the rest of the cohort and you see how all of us respond under stress. So it's a fantastic experience.
Wow. So actually they miss out something.
It's a loss in a sense.
It's a shame.
I would say it is not their fault. It's the system. The system allows them, but I think that from the point of being able to see how well you perform and how well you actually able to take those kind of stress is a fantastic experience.
That would have been like if they had experienced a validation for them. It's like something you do and then you had a completion, is it?
Correct.
Rather than to like almost, it's like you are running a race and then you can see the finishing and then stop, no need to run anymore. That's terrible. That's terrible. Then how do you completed your entire NS stint?
No, then the following year after being commissioned, I went to 2 different units, and then from there, I went to do my studies overseas. Yeah.
So this was considered as your NS stint, or you signed on already?
Yeah, it's a sign-on already. I was a regular.
Oh, you're regular already,
yeah,
lah.
correct,
Oh, okay. So when you went to study, you what, captain already, or lieutenant, or what?
Was a lieutenant.
Lieutenant.
Yes.
Then where did you go and study? Your
I was
scholarship?
studying in London.
Oh, you went to London. It's just like one of your colleagues, Hazel. She went to Cambridge, you know. Sorry for the British accent. I don't know if it sounds British, but... Oh, so what were you studying over in London?
Economics.
Oh, economics, huh? Oh, how long was your program?
It's a 3-year program. Actually, again, there's a difference between overseas and local education. So I studied less, spent shorter time, less hours, and you get direct honors, right? So obviously the rest of the experience being overseas, exposure to the different culture, to different people from around the world and all this is very enriching, and that's where you learn as a person. But from an academic perspective, right, the courses, the one that I attended, is a lot of it is self-interest, and there was actually very little so-called a lot of content inside there, and it's much shorter time. Where I compare a local person that studied in NUS and all this kind of thing, you have to do probably, at least 50 to 75% more coursework and all this kind of thing. And then after 3 years, you still need to go to honors before you get the recognition. So again, I feel that, the people that went to our local university, in terms of the knowledge they gain and the kind of experience they accrued during their studying is as good as, if not even more comprehensive than some of the people from overseas.
So you studied some part in Singapore, and then you went overseas?
No, I studied in overseas, at least for the basic degree. But I did study in Singapore as well subsequently.
Or for your honours, your masters, whatever?
I did a master's, yeah.
Wow, so you see, Michael, all your PSP one, 无聊 one, as a Hokkien say. Now, for those of you who don't understand what the meaning of the word 无聊 means, they got substance, right? All study until university lah, and master lah, and everything. That's why now they ask me why I never join. I say I only study until diploma only. Some more I comedian, cannot be politician. Okay, let's look at how long were you in the army, by the way? I mean, let's wrap up this topic.
I think there's one more photo of the army, so we can take a quick look at
wow.
that. So in total active service, I did 17 years.
17
but
years.
17 to qualify, we part of it include the studies, 2 period of studies I went as well. Then post the active service, I did my full entire cycle of NS. So
reservist,
reservist, yeah,
okay.
National service, yeah. So I did the entire cycle until I so-called reached the mandatory retirement age.
Which is?
50.
50.
Yeah.
Oh, you're 50 already, ah?
Yeah.
Oh, ta 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 ta. Those who don't know, that's a theme song from Hawaii 5-0. Ta 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 ta.
So the photo here you see is actually my last exercise that I went few exercise. So we make sure that we are all well camouflaged.
What's your rank? You lieutenant colonel?
It's called senior LTC. It's an in-between rank between LTC and colonel, which is created quite a few years ago.
Yeah, they love to tweak all these kind of things. What was the word again?
Senior LTC.
Senior, like senior warrant officer. Warrant officer is the warrant officer, like senior LTC. Lieutenant colonel means lieutenant colonel. Full colonel means full colonel. Like. They just try to come up with all these in between ranks, whatever. But lieutenant colonel, sir, welcome, sir. Don't play. Okay, so let's move on now from there. Let's see what's the next picture. What is this one?
Okay, so
mass run.
It is actually the Army Half Marathon.
Oh.
So I was in the 9th division. So, we try after the.
It's infantry brigade, right?
It's an infantry division.
Division.
Yeah.
Division is bigger. Division is bigger.
Division
right?
is bigger.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's after the run itself, we take a group photo.
Oh. But this was while you were in active service, or
no, NS.
NS really.
Yes,
you all organized this thing.
So I'm quite sad actually this year, if I'm not wrong, the Army Half Marathon has been cancelled or whatever kind of, because it's a once a year. COVID, yeah. Oh. Because it's a once a year experience to gather to meet some of especially now that I'm so-called retired, I don't have a chance to go back for my income training to meet some of my counterparts in the national service. Yeah.
Okay. So let's see, what do you have next? And this one, another
This
gathering
is
with the army
the
people?
45th, celebrating 45 years of national service. So it's a recognition dinner.
Where was this place? I mean, like,
I think this is a floating platform.
Oh.
Yeah. So you have some of the other former army officers as well, that guards officers and stuff like that.
I see. Okay, well, it's nice to always. At least you gather to catch up with old friends.
That's right.
That's a nice feeling. Let's see now, what do you have next? Well, from army, suddenly you got one Middle Eastern person there.
Okay, that guy is called Jamil. He's our project partner. That was my first job post the army, so I was in Singapore food industry. And part of my area of responsibility is actually combat ration manufacturing. And we were trying to actually use cooking sauces, pre-mixed cooking sauces, so that for the cooking of dishes, it can be done very quickly and efficiently, and at a high quality and high safety. So
this was for?
So in this instance, we're actually trying to do it to support the pilgrimage. So every year you have 2 million pilgrims, right, going to Mecca and then doing
this is for Saudi Arabia and Mecca for the Hajj. Oh, okay.
Yeah. The contingent from Southeast Asia is about 300,000. And you find that the workers, the cooks and the chef, or what they call it, could be from Egypt, could be from,
wherever.
India or whatever. And they are not familiar with taste for Southeast Asian dishes. At the same time, it's also difficult to get spices, right?
Fresh ingredients or whatever.
That's right.
Okay.
So with these premixed spices and all this kind of thing, you can cook your chicken, boil and all this kind of thing, or your beef, and then you can make a beef rendang.
Or just add your sauce into
That's right, and it's authentic, and it's very familiar taste. So it's a very good project that would actually been very useful for all the pilgrims and all the so-called the mutawif, the one that welcomes the pilgrim to the city of Mecca. But again, it's organizational issues, in the sense that the structural issue of the how the Hajj is being organized, and the way structure prevents good initiative from being implemented.
I see.
But we still went ahead, did a small-scale implementation, 2 container worth of sauces that was sent there to support that particular Hajj.
So is that still going on? Is SFI still involved in this, or is it based on your memory or your knowledge?
So again, it needs follow-up. So I think there was quite a long period of break. Okay, because there were issues about the contracts and all this kind of thing.
Wow, so you were actually you were near to Mecca,
I was at the line where non-Muslims cannot cross. So there's a perimeter in Mecca. So the perimeter, only Muslims can go into that.
I see. Okay, so there was a boundary in that sense. Okay. Because I know that if you are non-Muslim, you can actually go to that part, right? Medina you can go to, right? And Riyadh, all these places, or
I think Medina you also need permit. You can go, but it's under permit. So you need to apply for it.
Wow. So how many years were you involved or doing this?
This project was about probably 1.5 years. Why I joined politics? I'm actually so-called, to a certain extent, an insider. I hear and see and witness a lot of things. So during my stint in the TLC, in SFI, or subsequently in my other jobs, you get to see things, and to me, I personally feel that some of these things are not the best way we want to go about doing.
Because of what? Bureaucracy? Because of policies? What?
Okay, so sometimes I think I was criticized recently for a video that I made. I used the word wayang. Okay?
Not the politically correct word to use.
Yeah, it's not a politically correct word. But I feel very strongly that wayang is something that you don't want to do. If you are sincere, you want to do something, do it. If you have whatever difficulties and all this kind of thing, don't. Okay, as a TLC, you are resource rich. This particular project is not going to make the company money, okay, if it's not going to be economically viable. But my partner, Jamil, is a private individual. He got his own concerns and financial constraints. You fly him, or you get him to fly to Singapore from Saudi Arabia. He got to incur expenses and all that kind of thing. And if you think that the project actually doesn't fit the game plan or whatever for the company, why do it?
Then don't waste his time.
Don't waste his time, because you're doing it so that you fill a management report, so that instead of having a very bland report, your management report have
So
more excitement and all that. So to me, it's against my principle to want to do something that, I see that it is not really in line with the overall plan. So I'll rather take myself out of the equation, which is one reason why I left the company, because I know that I can't change the decision.
In a way, it's like you're leading that guy on, even though you had no sincerity to bring the business to the next level, but yet still giving him hope that I'm so and so we can work, something like that. Is that what part of
that to me, I mean, that's how I felt. Okay, I don't want to go too much into details, but I feel that to me is that if we haven't gone into it, studied the details, done the economic feasibility analysis, and then we feel that okay, it's not viable, it's fine.
Then tell the guy lah.
Yeah, then that's fine. But if we have some other consideration that is entirely divorced on whatever that we are trying to do in this particular project, then I think that that's not something that I will be party to.
Right. So Mike, the one word I can use or share with you and also with the audience you have one word principles, right? Which is lacking in today's context and that's a bad thing. It's like you don't love the girl, right? But you give her hope that you want to marry her one day, and then after that now you end up marrying someone else. Wow, that's not a nice feeling. Don't lead people on. Let's have some honor. Even there's honor among thieves, right? That's a saying, right? You don't try to, mess around with each other too much. And that's not building bridges in the longer term. So that was quite interesting, the experience you had in Saudi Arabia, trying to provide food for Asian pilgrims so that 适合他们的胃口啦. That's one of the things. So anyway, let's move on and let's see what's the next area. Wow, private jet lah. Lifestyles of the rich and famous again. What? You're traveling in private jet?
No. We're actually visiting a township, Gujarat.
That's India, right?
That's India, yeah.
Oh.
So we were transported by the company's private,
wow.
the Adani Group, which is a very large conglomerate in India. So they developed a township. We went to take a look at the township to exchange notes and to understand.
What were you trying to develop at the township?
At that point in time, we were looking at the Delhi-Mumbai industrial corridor, and we were focusing on Gujarat. So Gujarat, the chief minister then was Narendra Modi.
Oh, who's the prime minister today?
Which is the current prime minister.
Oh, so welcome to India.
Yeah, so we were exploring different options. In fact, subsequent to the trip to the township that was done by Adani, we did arrange a meeting with this Chief Minister Modi.
Oh.
So we had.
So you actually had a face-to-face with
no, I'm just a small
Modi.
little,
you met him, you all saw him.
I was just helping to arrange the meeting itself.
Yeah, don't be so modest lah. Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. So what's the next picture you have can share with us? Oh, this is like, where is this? It looks
this is actually the Sri Dagon temple.
Oh, Myanmar, Yangon.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And the other photo is actually in Naypyidaw.
Oh, so
Naypyidaw is the capital of
are you there for work again, or?
I was there. In fact, I set up an office in Yangon to serve as the admin office. So at that point in time, actually the real estate is a premium in Yangon. Even could be even more expensive than Singapore. And we will have to pay the rental 1 year in advance. Oh
yeah, I heard something. I've been to Yangon as well.
Everything paid in cash 1 year in advance. So I set up an office. We were trying to secure a project to develop a. We were trying to secure the rights to about 93 square kilometer of land.
To do what?
To develop a township.
Oh, develop a township. Was it a government-to-government thingy or something?
So it's a Temasek subsidiary.
Oh.
Okay, that's focusing on township development. So we were basically talking to the Yangon regional government and the chief minister of the Yangon regional government.
But did the project came to fruition, or?
It's the style of us doing things, and unfortunately, the style may not be the appropriate or the best way to actually execute. We had a local partner, but unfortunately, I don't think that, in my opinion, I'm like I said, very low down in the whole scheme of things. The local partner has not been well utilized to actually allow us to reach the breakthrough in terms of
the deal fell through.
Yeah, the deal.
Oh, what a pity! What a pity! What a pity! But all this adds up to your experiences.
Yeah, sure. It's a very enriching and.
So where's your next location after this? Let's take a look. And this doesn't look like Asia anymore. Got quite low inside.
This is in Amsterdam.
You're in Amsterdam. So
we took part in a water exhibition. That's my stint in the water industry. So 4 grown men, okay, staying in a houseboat.
Oh, mine.
Okay, because we thought that we tried to experience something different. Let me tell you, don't do it.
Why? What happened? The boat was rocking the whole night?
No. We didn't sleep because we basically, you have 4 grown men, you know.
So the symphony
snoring,
orchestra
was in full.
So there's a...
Yeah, it was terrible. Never do it, okay? Never do it. Okay.
Okay, as they say in Hokkien, kiang the whole mai. Kiang.
And the last photo is actually this German farmer that has a problem with sludge at his farm. So he wanted to buy our, the sample that we brought along for the exhibition. So after the exhibition, he came by and then took the sample, and then I took a photo of him. He actually drove back from Germany to Holland, or Amsterdam, where the exhibition was at. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that's your focus until now. Is that still
that is
part of your
one
business?
of the track that I was following until quite recently. Yeah. And in fact, it's waiting for me actually.
Oh, it's waiting for you. So you have diverted some time away from your business to help PSP. Wow, 你太伟大了. Okay. Let's see now what's happening next. Wow, that one very professional look, huh? Wow, businessman, CEO kind of look, very good. Yeah.
Actually, this was a Blue Tech Forum as part of the Singapore International.
Blue Tech Forum. Okay.
Yeah. So it's a competition actually for presentation. So there were 2 awards, of which both category I came in second. So I didn't get an actual prize. But the competition was interesting in the sense that it is not about substance, okay? In the sense that the winner of the particular competition is the most innovative idea, right? It's about marketing and the willingness to say what you want to say without any shame or without, basis of reality.
But the panel is very local or international?
It's audience participation. Okay, so meaning the polling was done by the attendees.
Yeah, okay, part of my question now is, who are the participants and who are the judges?
It's an international group. So I think there were only 2 Singapore teams, myself and another team. So the other team actually did very well, won in the most disruptive technology or in terms of the inroad they made. Yeah. Then ours was
in water.
Both are in water. So it's just 2 different areas. One is the market penetration, the other is the disruptiveness of the idea.
I see. So
Yeah.
you came in second.
So he came second because the guy that came in first, right, said that he developed this solar water bag that is able to reach out to 1 to 2 billion people. That was his term. And then in fact, one of the panelists did ask him, so how much did it cost? And the guy and didn't answer the question directly. So then I already completed my presentation. I was in the audience. I did a simple Google and checked this solar water bag. It's like $80 US.
Then how can those poor people afford it?
And it's only 500 applications. That means you can use it for 500 times. And each time you use is 3 liters of water.
Ayyo.
So it's 1.5 cubic meter of water for $80 US. For that product. I mean, even if you look at the huge volume, the other kind of thing, you're not talking about millions of people, right? Because 80 US,
yeah.
Just for water, it's not something, and it's for 1.5 cubic meter of water is nothing.
Wow, like gold, drink gold. And this is a serious problem.
Yeah,
I mean, if you may allow me, just to share with the audience as well, right? Many people don't realize that clean drinking water is going to become the new goal. Because as the human population now, we are about almost 7 billion people in the world, right? And by the time we reach 10 billion, these resources are, all is no more the black gold, is water, clean drinking water. And countries will go to war for that. Because why? Now we got a lot of alternative renewable energy, wind, solar, nuclear, whatever. So all will be stable still, we won't be completely, but water is the one that countries may go to war over. And so I will get to know Michael a bit better because his water business. Maybe I can help to do a little bit of marketing for him. Oh, fantastic, man, Mike. Okay, let's see now. Oh, was this the thing you submitted at the?
No. This was something that I worked together with this group of students. So post the Singapore International Water Week, I actually organized, or in fact, actually before the end of the Singapore International Water Week, we actually had a prize presentation for that event that I organized, the competition. Guys, it's called the Humanitarian Water treatment system design competition. So I invited the universities and the poly to send a team to go and participate in this competition.
Using your
using
equipment.
yeah, my product, and then we facilitated. I brought in a sponsor to sponsor some prizes and to fund the cost for doing all the prototyping and all that kind of
Number one also.
So the NUS team actually won.
Champion again. We are the champions.
So after they won, right? I was working with the team that won, and I shared with them this idea, and together we worked on the really low cost water treatment system. So you find that this particular bag, right, that we developed, together with the student, you can see that you can actually get very good water, coming out from the system.
Maybe it becomes potable water after it goes through your system. Water that's dirty, maybe polluted, whatever, and it's
I wouldn't say polluted water, meaning that it's chemical and all this kind of thing, because some of the chemical can be very toxic, even at very low level.
But at least you can remove those protozoa, those E. coli, all that kind of stuff, right? Which is present in water, where a lot of people. Singaporeans will take for granted because we always brag our tap water, we just turn on the tap, drink, and then bo tai chi lah. But many countries in the world, people don't have access to clean drinking water. Then you get dysentery and all this. Also, your water.
So the group, in fact, you see the name Water Room is now quite a well-established social enterprise in Singapore, and they've actually gone to support many different things around the world. And in fact, one of the founders was lauded at the United Nations to be one of the younger people doing something that is substantive to help improve life around the
wonderful
globe.
Man. So it's like an NGO of some sort,
That's right. Yeah.
Social enterprise, and it's not about the money. Human beings all the time we are just do things and we're trying to monetize it and then enrich ourselves. No, but you are using the approach that whatever you do is for the benefit of humanity. Kudos.
During the Nepal earthquake, 5,000 sets of this water bag, ceramic water bag, was actually sent to Nepal to help aid in the recovery process.
So how much is one unit when you?
Okay, so compared to the $80 that I mentioned earlier, right? So the if I'm not wrong, in the US right now, they are selling some of this on the camping sites and all this, because it's also can be used for outdoor recreational purpose.
Yes.
Something like $30 or $35 US. That is the selling price.
That's the selling price. Wow.
At
also
retail.
not that cheap, leh.
At retail.
At retail, okay.
At retail. So and that is like I said, recreational market, all this kind of thing. So you're talking about humanitarian purposes and all this kind of thing, right? You are looking at 12 to 15 US.
But then how much water can it clean?
So the other one is 1.5 cubic meter, right?
How much is how many liters is that? 1.5.
1,500.
1,500 liters.
Yeah, it's 500 application, 3 liters each. So this bag you can go up to 8 liters for one round of this bag. Okay, it just takes time. The flow rate is something like 5 liters per hour. Okay, meaning that you can literally, let's say,
maybe overnight lah.
Yeah, 1 hour is 5 liters. You can.
1 hour is 5 liters. That's a lot already.
It's a lot. So actually, whatever portable drinking need and all this kind of is more than enough. One of these can be used by the household, right? Yeah. So and because it's ceramic, okay. The only thing is that of course the bag, all these are meant for disaster. You during a disaster you can't be looking for a container, right? But the ceramic, the one that's doing the filtration and all this kind of thing, can be actually transplanted into a pail. So then you have a structure that is going to last you a long time, right? And the ceramic actually can also last you for a long time.
How long can you reuse this?
So easily, you're talking about years.
Years?
Yes.
I thought it was very cheap, like that. Wow.
Exactly my point. Compared to
$1 US a month.
But I will still not claim that it will benefit 1 to 2 billion people. Okay, the most you're talking about a few $1 million.
And you make all kind of claim, but can you back it up or not? At least, I mean, in terms of the cost viability, right? They want only like 550. How many times the first one? I mean, I'm not slamming that guy.
500 applications.
That means, okay, like 500. But yours is like for years, And, okay.
And then one application is 3 liters. So can you imagine if you want to use a lot of it, then it's a very short time. But of course, you only do it 3 liters per day. Then of course, it lasts you more than a year. So it depends on your application.
Got thing who support you or not?
No, this is entirely
you never ask me. They always give grant one, right?
The social enterprise actually is very well supported because they capture the imagination of some of the philanthropic organization, even like DPS and all this kind of thing. They support water roam, give them grants and allow them to carry out their activities. And in fact, because in this area, actually our needs in Singapore is very low.
Yeah,
but
of course.
around the region, Cambodia, even Batam. In fact, one of the things that we did for this competition, I funded them a trip to go to Batam to do a actual site implementation, the proof of concept. So it's more than just doing the prototype. You take the prototype and then you actually go to on site, and do it and implement it.
Wow!
So that was the whole thing that I actually orchestrated.
Oh, fantastic! Do you have anything to show?
You can take a quick look at how this particular thing works.
Oh, is it? Oh, that's a video. Oh, okay.
So this is okay because there's not much water in the bag, so the drip rate is very low.
Oh, so it just uses like gravity the flow
Yeah.
Wow, the water is so black and passing through your system, it comes out quite clear. Is that coffee or what? Also, it's like coffee is so black, no? Oh my goodness! Wow. Hey, you got something good happening here. Okay, we are not here to talk about business, but it's more from a humanitarian angle. I'm not trying to promote. I did for one of his colleagues as well, Hazel, about her science lab. So it's only fair, but it's not about that. Okay, lovely, lovely. So I wish you every success in marketing this thing and bring benefits to humanity. Let's look at the next slide Michael has. Or this is, what is this, some government thingy as well?
Oh, this is a MOU signing. So the Guangzhou Knowledge City was the counterpart for this. So we signed, and then they actually helped to establish the pilot trial, okay, in terms of doing the larger scale testing of the system.
So you do have some governmental links or whatever lah.
So Guangzhou Knowledge City is the subsidiary of Temasek and Singbridge.
Okay.
So they are so-called government. But more importantly, I think in this instance, sometimes in overseas it's a lot easier to carry out some of these things. Whereas in Singapore, in your home country, you find that, you know, like a tender for water projects and all this kind of thing, they specify minimum, capability or operating size and all this kind of thing. But okay, the problem with some of this, our local tenders and all this kind of thing, you have certain requirements that local companies, startups with good ideas and all that cannot meet because they cannot even prove that their concept work. Right? Because our scale of things, our water plant is like 200,000 cubic meter and all that kind of thing. You don't have smaller plants that you can start. Okay, so you actually have to go to Malaysia, Indonesia, or whatever. Because they have rural application that you can maybe 1 to 2,000 cubic meters. So you actually scale up your technology. But in Singapore, even let's say one of the things, sewerage. They don't even allow you to do a trial. They don't give you a permit, So in a sense that you can't even do a sewage.
So it's not supportive for like your SME like that. You're trying to do something, but there's constraints.
The issue actually is that we are very stovepipe in thinking, meaning that if I'm PUB, I'm NEA and all this kind of thing, I look purely from the perspective as a regulator, what I need to do to ensure that I do my job. But the problem is that, right, we don't look at it as a national issue. That means is that are we creating small little opportunities, right, or some flexibility in the rules, right, to allow some of our SMEs opportunity space to actually develop and advance their technology.
Yeah.
Okay, if you look at it at a national level, right, has a strategic perspective, then without creating all this opportunity, how are your SMEs going to develop their capabilities and technology? You can't. Because you can't even get the rule and the necessary
to do anything else. It's not nurturing in that sense.
It's a bit challenging at times.
Yeah, I understand.
Because I'm also not saying that there's complete absence of support. It's just that they are very technical trials. Technical meaning that it's very within very tightly prescribed limits. Okay, so you can't, like, for example, go and do a sewage treatment trial in a real workers' dormitory, for example. You know what I mean? You may be doing in a trial that is just setting up a prototype and all this kind of thing, but again, it's not good enough. Because you never scale up to the level that, in fact, the Changi wastewater treatment plant is a 200 cubic meter plant size.
Right. So could it be because of our kiasu kind of like, people who are maybe running those stat boards whatever, they have that kind of like, don't give me trouble don't give me extra work.
It's not their KPI.
As long, okay.
So actually, thanks to this particular MOU and the facilitation by this Knowledge City, we got the trial done, and in fact, the product which we developed and designed is now part and parcel of the largest industrial ceramic wastewater treatment plant in the world.
Wow.
In Zhengzhou City for Foxconn. Membrane, all this were developed and tested in Guangzhou, right? And then we didn't do the entire project. We don't have the capability to do the turnkey.
But you contributed to
contractor. But the scoping in terms of the particular membrane that was used was actually specified using this technology.
Which belongs to you guys.
Which were developed, yeah.
Wow, power lah, brother. Wow, good, huh?
But we wouldn't.
But that's the sad part, right? It's like last time, for those of you who are old enough to remember, right, got this creative, right? Also, they never lack the support, whatever the sound card, and then they had to go all the way to NASDAQ, then become a champion, then come back, and then we start to also make a lot of noise, no? When talking about water treatment, right, today, Jialat, right, the high flux also it seems to be in a lot of trouble, but that's another thing we'll leave for another day. Okay, let's see what's the next picture you have there. Wow, nice meal at the hotel. Which hotel was this?
Actually, the one in the middle is at the Ritz-Carlton, Guangzhou.
Wow.
Was put up by a friend who I hosted in Singapore. So my normal trip to Guangzhou, which I go very frequently, I stay in a hotel that is like 120 RMB.
Oh. So once in a while you stay at the Ritz-Carlton?
No, I don't once in a while. I've never stayed at the Ritz-Carlton. Okay, but like I said, my regular hotel is 120
RMB.
Local hotel that's meant for local. Not even meant for those holding passports. But never mind, that's another story. But the point is that actually I put it up in the sense that, the experience of staying in the Ritz-Carlton, and you can see the breakfast spread. That picture on the bottom right is actually just the egg spread.
Wow,
okay,
that's
all those dishes are
actually,
it's only eggs only. That's the egg counter. In my case, I cross into that area and then I come back to reality and all this kind of thing, right?
Okay.
But if a person or our leaders, are used to that kind of entitlement, they fly first class.
The best of everything,
right? They go and stay in the first class hotel like Ritz-Carlton and all that. How much can they empathize, right, with the plight of the people that stays in the 120 RMB hotel, when next to the road you can hear all the motorcycle and everything else, which is fine because we are it's a business trip. We are not there to enjoy all this kind of thing. So I was forced to stay because my host
put you up at that Ritz-Carlton.
She actually tricked me and said, I'm going to book you in Sofitel. Then when I was about to land, she said, our Sofitel closed. Full. I had no choice. I got to go and put you in the Ritz-Carlton. I mean, she was just trying to repay the being a host.
Yeah, right,
okay?
right.
She was hosted by me in Singapore, and therefore when I went there, she wanted to make sure that I was appreciated.
So I guess your point is that sometimes for people who move in a certain circle, right, they are oblivious maybe to the other side of society,
they
less privileged people.
Desensitized because you're so used to it that you may not think that it's a problem.
Your normal is other people's luxury.
Yeah. I think for us as politicians and all this kind of thing, we really must keep in mind that keep ourselves grounded. No point you are mixing up in the people, the jet setters and all this kind of thing. That you only see the 5-star hotels and first class or business class.
Just like there's this story, remember, right? One Chinese emperor, right? He will go incognito and go on the ground to understand how the Lao Bai Xing, how they are suffering. You know, you are ensconced in the camp, in your palace. Every day, all the eunuch, every the minister come and tell you how is everything. 很好, everything is blur. So it's good to bring yourself down to the ground. Okay.
So anyway, the other pictures that I had is actually the wine over there on the bottom left corner is actually more than 100 years old.
Wow.
Okay. And
must be expensive.
I don't know. I don't even know whether it's real or not. But my host for the trip actually, arranged for the 100-year-old wine, and we drank.
Nice.
It was good. But apparently they have technology. They use skin or something like that to seal it, so it allows certain amount of breathing, but it's controlled and all this kind of thing. So it didn't turn bad or whatever kind of thing. So it's one of those experience that you gain. And I would say again is that don't look down in the sense that the older technology and all this, there are certain things. I mean, can you imagine that it's 100 years old and still assuming that it's genuine? I mean, that one I'm not so sure.
Yeah. True.
And then the top left is actually the picture from my hotel in Wuhan on the trip as well.
Wuhan, that's the epicenter for China. You all know what I'm talking about.
So you can see the Yangtze River right at the end of the picture.
Okay, interesting. Okay, let's see what's the next picture you have. Wow, 三个千金啊, wow, so lucky. Your 3 girls.
3 girls, yes.
What are their names?
Stephanie, Sarah, and Shayna.
Oh, Stephanie, Sarah, and Shayna. Oh, you very lucky they got 3 girls. Because people tell me daughters give better ROI, you know. Because men, we are a bit stupid. You know, once we get married, we forget about our own family, mother and father. Daughters, you're very lucky when you're older. Your daughters, even they are married already, they say, dear, this weekend I'm going to see my parents. Then they call, Pa, 來吃什麼？我不會好哩. Girls are like that. 有父母的心啦, Wonderful, wonderful. And this is another extended family. This one, your wife is inside, right? With
yes.
Who's the lady in the middle?
Mother-in-law.
Oh, your mother-in-law. Wow, you are really blessed, Michael. Really blessed. 3 lovely daughters. So your eldest is already working?
She is working, yeah.
Oh, okay. Your number 2?
She's just finished a diploma, so she's also starting work.
Oh, and then your youngest one is how old?
She's in Sec 4.
Oh, wow, GCE. But okay lah, the father so smart sure got the genes one Hey, is your missus working or is she at home?
Is, yeah.
Oh, yeah, dual income lah. Yeah. Right. Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Let's look at this one. Any more photos coming up, Mike? I see a lantern with the word PSP written on it. Where was this taken?
This was in Taiwan last year.
Oh, Taiwan.
Yeah, so there's a place that actually they make it into a tourist attraction where we can fly your sky lantern or tianten.
Oh.
So the sky lantern is to allow you to carry your wishes and as hopes and all that.
So what did you write on it?
I actually wrote, I have to negotiate with my family so that I get a panel to write that. Yeah, I wrote PSP into Parliament. 前进党，新加坡前进党进国会。
Wow, and I hope that is going to become a reality for
Yes.
you and for all the Singaporeans. If you support us, okay, please give us your support when the time is due. So wonderful. I hope that will be your dream will come true, not just for you but for the entire
For
party.
the party,
Yes,
yes.
excellent. Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Let's see what's any more photos coming up.
This is my last photo.
Oh, the last photo. Oh, that was you doing your walkabouts.
Yeah, it's really at the end of the day, it's really hearing what the people are saying on the ground, listening to them and what their problems are.
Right. What are some of your hopes, your dreams, your aspirations for your family and for our country, Singapore?
I think for family, really, you just want everybody to stay together, have enough to provide so that the necessities are taken care of and also being able to occasionally afford some luxuries in life. I think that's what everybody aspires to, so that is something for the family. And then for the country, really, I feel that we really need to have an alternative. If we don't have a real alternative, the structure will force the behavior. Okay, when you have a monopoly on power, 一手遮天,
one hand cover the sky. Okay.
Right. You don't feel the same kind of sensitivity to issues of conflict of interest, which I've encountered, I've seen directly firsthand, and I cannot accept it. And if I can just step forward, do a little bit.
Not just gripe and complain, but actually step forward and do something, right? And have the courage, because to do what you all are doing takes a lot of courage, because a lot of Singaporeans just have this habit of maybe complaining, but then when they have a chance to make some change, they don't take the next step. Not that they must step into politics, but every 5 years they have a chance to effect some changes. And I did speak to one of your colleagues as well. So I believe your Dr. Tan Cheng Bock has also said that they want to deny the incumbent, right, a two-thirds majority, so they cannot just suka go and change the constitution and laws like that, things that affect Singaporeans on a daily basis. Okay, so kudos to you for wanting to step forward and make Singapore a better society. So thanks again, Michael, for being on the program with us today. And we'd like to thank as well all the viewers who are joining us so far. And I hope you have learned a little bit more about Michael Chua, who is one of the candidates for the upcoming GE in Singapore. So thank you for watching, and we'd like to wish everyone a good day, and bye-bye.
Bye-bye.